Hello, visitors of the internet, and welcome to this video where today I will be attempting to create a half-decent, hopefully, van in automation. Now, there's not any really recent vans. The most recent we have is this 2002 People Carrier, which just has van side paneling on, and another one which is a slightly longer version of it. So I think that's Chrysler Voyager and Grand Voyager basically, and their Dodge and Plymouth equivalents. If no, Plymouth probably weren't around in 2002, let's be honest. But my point remains, that's basically what it is, but with van panelling on the side. And we have this, which I think is a 2000 Volkswagen Transporter, if I'm not wrong. It's the one I'm going to start off with because it's a vehicle that is, well, most van-like. So we can go and add, hopefully, some panels. Do I want aluminium? I'd say engineering time on partial aluminium is actually higher. We could try just going with old steel. And as far as the chassis is concerned, you'd think ladder, wouldn't you? However, I feel this could be good. Although it is designed for lightweight trucks, moreover. So, yeah, there's always that factor. This is basically designed for trucks, so you can have a cab that's a unitary, and then just have the ladder on the back. And it saves a bit of weight, I believe, that way. I think we want a good old ladder, though. It's a simple old idea, but for vans, I believe it's yet to be beaten. I think we could go with galvanized chassis, perhaps? There we go. So that gives us a reasonably cheap platform, I think, if we just... Oh. It's a light truck, and it's so tempting, because I can then cheap out on the suspension and go with struts on the front. I know it's weird, but it's what I think will work. Then I might as well just do that, and then it becomes an MPV essentially. Nah, ladder. We have to be able to mount all kinds of campers on it and stuff, so yeah. We could go with leaf springs on the front, which is odd in a modern van, but you know, it could be done. I think coil on the front. Or double wishbone or coil. Engineering time is a lot less. The weight is less on double wishbone though. I think you can produce less of them though, in comparison. And this is a lot better off-road. Or am I reading it wrong? How can solid axle coil be more compact? You know what, since I'm going transverse... Well, wait, actually, I'm interested in how on earth it's going to make transverse work with this. So I'll build the suspension up this way just to see how it works out. I'll probably change to double wishbone later though, because I'm interested in how it's all going to attach to non-independent front suspension if I already have a transverse engine. Now, what are we going to have? In line 4, I think it has to be. It has to be a huge inline 4. 3.2, but not a V6. Why not a V6? Because of utility. It would essentially be a diesel, but I'm not going to be able to put a diesel in it. And it's struggling for height, unsurprisingly. If I were to go with a 3-cylinder engine, that would really want to blow up. Maybe I should go with a 5. There's enough space for a 5-cylinder. No, 4 cylinders. Agricultural, but it works, so who can complain? I think 4 valves per cylinder, single overhead cam, cast iron, 3.2 litre, 4-cylinder. Sounds like a good van engine to me. should create incredible torque for a 4-cylinder. Only will the internals, hold up? That is the true question. We'll have to go and see. Do we want a turbo? No. I think we should try and bring it across without the turbo. See how we can go. It's going to have multi-point injection. Because quite obviously I'm going to need some assistance to get that power. But I'm not going to go with a full-on turbo route. Go with regular fuel. Lean it out to make it more efficient. Do we want that or do we want short cast? I'll have to see what the markets say. They'll probably change their mind, but who knows. We want a bypass valve so the exhaust doesn't have to be stupidly massive, because it helps with that. I'll go with a catalytic converter and a single baffled muffler. It's not going to be refined with that kind of muffling, but it shouldn't need to be refined. And the joys of having a 3.2 litre engine, it makes the power with very, very little problems. So, yeah, there we go. How low can we rev it, I wonder, and get the power I want? I think if it makes something like, say, if it makes 150, it should easily be able to move its weight. So, yeah. I don't even have to try with this engine. 264 torques, that's where all the importance is at. 264 torques. 5800. Looking at the revs, I want it to rev as low as possible. It'll give it a narrower power band, sure, but what it will also do is enable it to have less stress on the pistons and everything. It's actually not as stressed as I would have expected. Given how huge this engine is, I really expected a lot more stress from it. It's still got a good 500, 600, 700, 800 RPM to play with before things start going. How about single point? Maybe I could get away with single point electronic fuel injection. I'll have a look if I can. Ooh. It looks like I'll lose more power than I would like, but indeed I can actually do that. So, yeah, 150. It's not going to be as efficient, but I make the power I want, if only just about. And is that going to get me more power? No. It's actually happy there. So there we go. Let's have it here. I've just realised it's odd there in that it's like, and then it just kicks in. I think that is the valve timing, but I'm not sure. I think it's variable valve timing. So 110 on the performance index. It's not the most capable vehicle in the world. Engine in the world, but nonetheless, I think it's enough for me. There we go. There's our van body. I wonder how it's going to show the engine in there when it eventually does get to that stage of showing the engine. There is our insides of our van. And how are we going to do the headlights? It's a 2018, so it has to look kind of modern. Ooh. I don't think they're meant to be used as main headlights. However, if we just add some of these to it, like so, They don't look too bad. Now, if these can go as I'm hoping they can go, I could perhaps have something going down right down the middle of them. Yeah. Maybe maybe that's a bit too far out. No. How about the grill going through the middle, as I was saying? No. You are a glitchy mess when I put you on. Ooh, actually, forget my previous idea. I could build a better idea based off of that previous idea, but just better. Fundamentally less flawed. Bring these forwards. There we go. We have those lights now kind of digging into the grill. And if we go with bumper bar, we're not actually putting a bumper on the car. We're just putting some trim here. I believe I did this before and it worked exceptionally well. So if you just west... If you can west about there at the base of the kind of jump, would you call it? And then I can duplicate one of them. I could actually... I'm just thinking, being concerned about it not sitting correct with the headlights. There we go. I've moved the headlights to the very front so they are the first layer, if that makes sense. You can kind of see behind them, but that doesn't matter. All that has to do really is hold the badge and it will be given a purpose. Speaking of which badge are we going to give this vehicle? 3.5 litre power. Sure. It's not quite 3.5 litres, but I figure it's close enough. So, yeah, that's how my company works. That's not going to result in lawsuits at all when people find out they've only got a 3.2 when they paid for a 3.5 litre. And we need an actual logo for our vehicle. So, what can we do? Can't really go with a hood ornament, it's 2018. They're kind of not favoured by, what's it, crash safety regulations. Come on, you're behind, that's the problem. And I need to find a badge again. Try adding these ones. They are behind bars. That is not gonna work. Alright. I'll just put a badge here. I've kind of chosen that one incidentally because I didn't think another one would fit. But the crazy octopus one, sure enough. They make sensible work vehicles. That's my division. Well, that's their division, rather. Yeah. This is interesting. I can't decide what side that should be on. I'm happy with the part of the grill it's on. I just don't know what side to put it on. Oh, actually, 3.5 litre power. Yeah, you can hold that then. So you can hold that badge. look after it. And then I want to move it to the right-hand side. I don't know. You drive on the right on the UK in the UK, so I guess I'll leave it there because it points to a driver who is powerful or something like that. Anyway, transverse front-wheel drive. Or we could go with transverse all-wheel drive. I don't know what you would be transporting though that would require all-wheel drive. But apparently there's a need for it. So I think we're going to go with a 6-speed automatic transmission because it's the type of transmission this kind of car would have, and I think I can see how it would get power to the front, although conventionally, yeah, it's just better to use the older style. However, I can actually have a wee look at this chassis and see if the light truck is any better. I would say the whole thing could probably be a unitary, but then, as I was saying, it does need to have stuff put on it, so that's a reason. Corrosion on there is... that's as good as corrosion's going to get, although it may not be the stiffest. Now, we're not looking at an intense off-roader here. It's got 150 horsepower sent to the front wheels, so stiffness isn't going to be the most important thing. But anyway, we have got to do other things, so we'll go with an open differential. Shouldn't be needing anything better on this particular trim of the vehicle. Although, this engine feels like it should be longitudinal. I may very well end up making this van rear-wheel drive, but in this particular version, it's front-wheel drive because, well, it is. And we'll go with a radial, hard, long life. I think 205s front and rear. They might be a bit narrow for this van's intended purpose, but if they do the job, they do the job. It's front-wheel drive, remember, so it's not like it's going to kick out on you. It'll just spin the front wheels a bit. It does get out of control in moments. Should I go with bigger wheels? It's a van. It's not a fashion statement. I could even go with smaller wheels, but I don't think they're big enough. I think what I want is slightly bigger tyres, to be honest. So, yeah, it's not a lot, but just adding that, I think 5mm of sidewall does make a difference to the overall car, and it will hopefully make it more comfortable, particularly since it's got leaf springs on the back. I mean, the general choice for vans, but they're not comfortable. It's just not a comfortable suspension technology. We could have alloy wheels, or we could have steel wheels. Steel is cheap, so we'll go with steel. Solid discs front and drum brakes on the back. No under tray to begin with, although I may change that later. We'll go with a 3-seater, at least in the front, where there is only seats. I don't know. Vans have 3 seats in the front is what I'm trying to say, and this van is going to be the same. We don't innovate there. Basic interior and basic infotainment. We'll go with fancy power steering and traction assists. This is where the money's going to be spent, because this is what they'll care about. They'll care about having something reasonably safe, but it is ultimately just a tool. We'll go with air springs. Nah, I don't think that's too important to have on the van. We'll go with some progressive gas monotube. I think that's slightly more advanced for comfort, but I don't know. Just trying to go premium, I guess, but not too premium. So, we're a reliable heavy cargo vehicle with good fuel economy and a hint of comfort. Yeah, it fits right into heavy delivery though. the thing we're getting is we're getting a little high on the pricing. If I could fix that pricing, it would be good. Good to go. So 15 kilograms. And ooh, they like comfort suspension. Normal. Do they like that even more? No. 103.9 is what we have to try and beat. Yeah. So they like it on comfort settings, quite frankly. That is absurd. There's only that way to put it. But still, if they want a comfortable van, then so they can have a comfortable van. Now, being heavy delivery, I think it's a slightly more premium version of the delivery vehicle, so they might take to alloys. No. Trying to throw the optional extras at them. 78.2. Yeah, they prefer them. How about some off-road tyres? No. I'm just trying to throw optional extras on their vehicle, okay? Manual locker, automatic locker. Ooh, that's fancy. You sure want it, don't you? Order a van with an automatic locker. So 103.6 with the geared. Yeah. Ooh, here's where we could gain a lot. 106.4. Oh. If I just adjust the gears as well, that could help massively. Because we do have a decent amount of power here, remember. Even though it's still got a huge amount of weight, the power and torque are still half decent. They're enough to get this moving at least. So 104.5, that's good. I actually, just for the lap time, you know, when I take this round the off-road course, I want to keep it front-wheel drive just so it's capable. And 22.4 miles per gallon, but vans are rarely economical, so I think we can forgive that. We'll go see what changing the gears actually does. It looks like a 7-speed advanced automatic, perhaps, is where they want it to sit. 107.1. I think 6-speed advanced automatic should do the trick quite nicely. And how about a sequential? No, you don't like that, okay. So I found something that makes them happier with the overall vehicle. And what have we got here? Ooh. Please just move my fixtures and don't remove them. Phew, that was concerning to say the least. Maybe I shouldn't have just dove into it like that, but I did. Now, ooh, yes, that's good. As I expected, having the higher roof on this body has really helped, and it hasn't increased the cost, so that's something I can't really complain about. Try and move that down a bit just to where I was used to. And perhaps down some more. Excellent, should probably save. I just saw it have a bit of a moment there. I think I'll go a bit more American with this type of longer bonnet. Come on. I think it's slightly more American with a longer bonnet, and then the slightly more upright windscreen. Just that's the way they do things generally. Or the way they did things. Now the Ford Transit is kind of a global van, so to speak, and they have them in America instead of the old Ford E-Series, I think it was, that they had before. Anyway, I'm probably making huge mistakes, so I'm sorry if that's the case, but there is reasons for why I'm extending this van as I am. Yeah, it is probably not going to handle as well as it could, but that's what you can expect. It fits so well into heavy delivery class though. Is there anywhere on markets? There's heavy delivery, light delivery. They're probably the richest, so yeah, it's the most affordable to heavy delivery, at least in Gazmere. There's other regions I can go and try and sell it to though. Frunia, Arcania, Hetvisia, and Daluha. Daluha is 86.5%. I think I'll make it for Gazmere. Sure. Even though Daluha is technically richer, they are just like eternally a rich country, so they can afford this stuff. We can go reduce the safety, perhaps. So 125, yeah, 125.2, 125.4. Yeah, that's good. Something like that is good for the car because it saves weight, makes it more economical. They like it on the market, if only slightly. And it also makes it cheaper to manufacture. There's not really a downside to it. Go with comfort here, normal. Ooh, they like normal now. Normal has shifted to be the prevalent one, I think. Which is, I guess, what you would expect. It's a van. But also, it has the space now to have more weight loaded onto the back because of the extra roof that we've added. Yeah. This is front-wheel drive as well. I'm thinking, since it is now a heavy delivery vehicle, it's not light or medium delivery, we do need to add rear-wheel drive. So 125.4 is what it sits at. And how does rear-wheel drive change that? Come on, this way. 125.4. Ooh, 126.7, so it does help. It does help to have rear-wheel drive on it. Because, well, it has a lot of weight back there. If you're trying to pull from here, the wheels will start lifting off the ground, you won't get much traction, and that won't be good. We could also try the locking differential. It might come into its own now it's on the back. No, it won't. How about an auto locker? Just try selling them all the differentials again. Yeah, Vicious does okay, but open is still the preferable choice. And 125. I could put a 7-speed, but I don't think it's necessary at all. 125. Oh, the suspension's changed, hasn't it? So I should probably retune it. Comfort, normal, sport. They prefer comfort again now. Make your mind up. Comfort. If comfort makes you happy. Yeah, fastest tofu mobile ever. It's not really lost any miles per gallon going to rear-wheel drive. That's what interests me. It might even have lost weight. I don't know why I repeated that word. Will they prefer the engine to be built of aluminium? I don't expect it, but I could be surprised. 124.7. I could put an aluminium head on. They don't seem to mind that, although the block itself... Ooh. Interesting. So if I go with just an aluminium block but a cast iron head, they don't like that. But they actually like having a cast iron block and head more than they like having a full cast iron engine. Probably due to efficiency or something like that, something along those lines. So yeah, that'll do. Unless I can go upgrade them even more, which is unlikely. 124.9. No. I'm just amazed because normally you build a engine for a fairly typical kind of car category in this game, and aluminium is off the chart. They just want a cast iron lump that gets the job done. But here, in a van of all things, it actually makes a difference to them if it's made of aluminium or not. I guess just because it's such a big engine. So VVL. Oh yes, they like VVL. Is it worth the money? I guess I would have to say so. If it really helps them that much, it hikes the power up. That's why. So we're gonna need to bring this down. We're gonna need to bring this down. So the torque curve could resemble something normal. Once it does that, I think we're good to go. Well, almost good to go. There we go, 242. The torque has been moved back by us all. It's not the tidiest power curve, but it's utilitarian. I did say it should be fine with about 150 horsepower. Maybe they like a bit more power in this region or something. They've let me put an aluminium engine in. It's not turbocharged as well. So where is the torque going to come from? Yeah, fit a slightly bigger exhaust on, sure. 126.2, 126.9. This is fitting well. And where is the max RPM? Might be able to raise that just a little, since the internals can take it. Or so I say that, maybe I'm speaking too soon. No? Still got 400 RPM in it. Not the hugest amount, but there is some RPM there to play with, so I feel good about myself. There we go. It's got a very decent, consistent torque curve. And that's single point electronic fuel injection, remember. If I go for multi-point, I may be able to improve it still further. So almost 180 horsepower out of this, and I've not messed with the mufflers. So 126.6. That doesn't cost very much at all, and it improves power. So okay, I'll go with that. I think it improves fuel efficiency as well. It's not really a downside. 126.8. Come on, 0.8. Yeah, they just like having no mufflers. Okay, just let the air right out, let the exhaust emissions right out without any care for the sound in the world. Although I don't think that's that unrealistic, because a lot of vans are noisy old beasts. And, you know, they sound like they've not been muffled. Just unmuffled diesel sound. I have to let this sound out now. does sound like a diesel, I must say. It sounds surprisingly like a diesel. So, yeah. Maybe I've basically built a diesel out of it. And I've removed the head somehow. But anyway, there you'll see it's 4 valves per cylinder right now. May change in the future, but I don't think that's likely. Since it is 2018 and that is the standard that everybody's settled on in the car industry. And what tyres? Oh. No, you want narrower tyres, okay. Maybe 205s are just right. And yeah, maybe they're just right for the vehicle. I would try and move them out a little, so 126.8. And what happens if I move the rear wheels out? 0.7. It doesn't like that, but it kind of had to be done. I can't really change the track width of the vehicle, can I? I can change the track width of the actual wheels themselves, not of the vehicle. Right, so the chassis. How can we save money on it? How can we make it cheaper? 78.2. Ooh, that saved a bit of money. I wouldn't have expected it, but it did. 84.1, so 136.1, 136.5. And 136.1, 136.5. Oh, I think partial aluminium is a good compromise, personally. This is not bad. 1611 kilos. I wouldn't call it lightweight, but I definitely wouldn't call this heavy either. It is kind of reasonable, actually. It's not got any chrome trim at all. Maybe I should change that, but maybe I should make it plastic. Maybe I should just leave it. I think I should just leave it personally right now. I could go with a monocoque. It would make it a cheaper delivery vehicle, I guess. If we are just shooting for a pure van, 136.5. Yeah, if we're just shooting for a pure van, just purely to deliver things and not to be converted into a camper or anything, I guess we could get away with that. So, yeah. It's a delivery vehicle, essentially. That's all they say it is. Semi-space frame. That would make it a bit more refined. How is it on... Oh. Comfort is not its strong point. So, let's try a semi-space frame then, shall we? 142.9. These don't tend to do too well versus a unitary, or monocoque, as you might call it. 142.9, 80.9. Yeah, they cost a lot. So, 142.9, 80, yeah. 144.8 even here. So, it's already better. AHS steel. As I was saying earlier, glued aluminium does surprisingly well despite the cost. As I was saying earlier though, the stiffness of the vehicle is not the problem. That's why you can get away with having something like galvanized steel, which isn't particularly stiff as the chassis. It does what's needed of it, and it doesn't corrode too badly, so it's enough for the intended markets to keep them happy. We'll go... Oh, we can actually go with struts, can't we now, as well, because it's galvanized monocoque, so 144.8. 144. No. 83.1, 83.3. If I'm entirely honest, I would say it's probably worth it, but is it? Yes. Solid coil. I don't want to change the rear end. I really don't want to, because solid axle leaf is just such a tried and tested thing for loading up weight with. I could just put hydropneumatic suspension on. That would cost the stars and the moon though, and that's quite different from where we are at. So multi-link is where I would want it to be for handling, is it? No? Apparently not. Apparently solid axle coil is good for handling. Maybe it's just solid axle coil is much better for stability, since it is fundamentally an improved version of leaf springs. So yes, that is perhaps why. And it does have comfort to be desired, because comfort is not great at all on this. If it was better, perhaps it wouldn't matter. McPherson strut. Wait a minute, there's not that much difference in it, is there? Technology to technology, there's not actually that much difference in it. Right, I'm cheaping out. I'm going McPherson struts front and leaves on the back. Ooh, all aluminium bits. Lovely, lovely. Ooh, that's just reminded me. I am cast iron in here, but does that improve the markets when I change it to forged or anything? Ooh, they like that. I wonder if I turbo it. This might just be a nightmarishly powerful van by the end of the video. Stay tuned, everyone! No. Not to say that, but it could be a lot more powerful. 146.7. And yep, that doesn't really help. 146.6.7 and 149. So low friction cast helps a lot. Okay. I don't know why the crankshaft has to be so over-engineered. I think I'll stick with cast iron. They don't like it enough for me to desperately need to convert. Low friction cast though, I can see they have a convincing argument there that low friction will be better for economy. It does hurt the kind of ruggedness of it though, and yeah, I'm cutting it very close on the edge by this point. I'm cutting it very close to the limit of the engine's capabilities with the pistons. Mind, it will be able to get better economy, and it is just about surviving, so yeah, that's fine, I think. 180. Just so much power. So a lot of changes have been made to this engine to make it more economical and powerful. However, what we have not done is add multi-point injection back in. So maybe I'll do that. You never know. Maybe it'll make the cut and help it be powerful enough. So longitudinal front wheel drive. I wonder, front wheel drive will be cheaper, won't it? So 83.9. I know it's about lifting the wheels, what I said about lifting the front wheels up and everything. I'm trying to satisfy my markets, okay? If they want something that is fundamentally flawed, then I say I have to just give it them, really, even if it isn't great. So, along we go. What else do we have? Transverse all-wheel drive. No, they don't like that. So 83.9. That seems strangely more expensive, if I'm remembering this correctly. Where are you? No, 83.9 is the same between transverse and longitudinal, but transverse is a more proven technology over many generations of front-wheel drive, I think. Okay, so let's see what else we have to do. Really, I think it's just finishing off the vehicle at this point. Tail lights. What have we got in the way of tail lights? Anything that might fit in this year? Yeah, sure, these will work. Yeah, I have an idea for the indicators as well. These are either deep into the future or deep into the past. Who knows? So make those the same body colour of the vehicle. Indicators. You can go underneath. It looks like a strange Pokemon with the eyes like this, as you might call tail lights eyes. I can change the shape of this, don't worry. It's not going to look that horrible for eternity. My design studio actually has some integrity at least. It's virtually smiling, just look at that. With the bumper back here, it's like it's smiling. We have a Chinese number plate. Where did I get this from? Who knows? Either way, it's going to sit just there. And just here. There we go. I think I know what I need to put on this. It would probably hurt sales, but if I could find where it is. Come on. Favourite arrow, no. Scoop. Yes. Why? I just feel this is so necessary. It makes 180 horsepower from a naturally aspirated engine. It's basically a four-cylinder engine even. It's basically a muscle van by this point, even if it is front-wheel drive. Yeah, some muscle cars were actually less powerful than this, if you'd call them muscle cars, but some of the earlier ones and ones from the 70s were actually less powerful than this, so yeah, it is a interesting proposition of a van. We'll go do some lights there. Wait, why are there no back windows? That's very strange. I mean, I understand that you're not going to need side windows because it's a van, but you'd want to see out the back, surely. There we go. And you are done. No, you're not. That handle's too high. And then we need to drag it along. Oh, that is almost, but not quite there. Right, I think that's done now. So we could flip it round. And we should have a mirror on the other side, yes. And we should be able to actually select that and just select the one without keyholes because that's what we need. It looks okay. I could have done a whole lot worse. I'll say that now. Could be worse. As is my company slogan. 149.5, they like that. But they don't like sport. Yeah, I'll take what I can get in terms of tyres. Just anything that'll keep it going in a straight line for a vaguely sensible amount of time. So, 205. Do you want the alloys now? They actually do. What are the chances? They want alloys. The chance was small, but the chance eventually came through. We'll go with hopefully some wheels that look good on it. We'll go maybe these. There's a lot of them here. I kind of like those ones, to be honest. Yeah, those ones I think look good on the van. We go with the overall theme of it. It's got hugely chunky tyres, but that's no bad thing. I mean, you know, you can underinflate them if you want a bit more comfort, or overinflate them if you want... Or technically not overinflate them, but inflate them to the limit if you want to transport a bit more weight. There's not really a downside. Again, it's one of those things. Or there is a downside, there's a look, but I think I've just about made that work. Right, so... It is going well on the markets, although it is more expensive than I would like. Semi-clad. Off-road skid tray. Fully clad. No, you just don't like skid trays, okay. Skid trayist. 27.4 miles per gallon. We need another seat. Wait, you don't want another seat? Okay. It doesn't want a one-seater either. I don't know why it doesn't want to be a three-seater, but okay. If they find it to be more comfortable that way, I'll give them 2 seats. Do we want a standard interior? No. You want a basic interior. Do you want any entertainment? Yes, you do actually. So we were happy with the way things were there. We'll go with... We could go and actually reduce some of this stuff, yeah. It is apparently preferable that I go with standard springs and dampers. I'm guessing that's just a case of maintenance. It's not comfortable. This is probably one of the least comfortable vehicles you'll come across. But it's built to do a job. If it does that job, then so we can be proud of it. Comfort is 151.3. Just play around with it again. And yeah, it does it. And it does it well. It actually looks like it's been raised up a little more now. Not that it's a bad thing. It looks good on the van because it was so low slung before. Almost like the suspension had failed, but with this more basic system, it seems like what they've done is give it more travel to compensate for the lack of technology. And if that works for them, well, good for them. This is light. 1448 kilograms. How? 49, I guess, technically, if you round it up. How is a van this light? It's 9.1 seconds to 60 from standard. Probably not once you start loading it with stuff, though. And we'll go... I won't be adding any aero. It's not a performance vehicle. Nor will I be particularly adding a turbo. I will be adding the multi-point fuel injection, but no turbo. It just doesn't need it. When this thing is pushing 250 torques and 200 horsepower, it just doesn't need it. Per cylinder, again, I don't think it needs it. The difference will be tiny. So What are we going to have here? 88, 89, 91. Oh, it is making all of the power. Come on, you can do it. Yes, it did at least 195, which is something. So, oh dear. Oh no, it's not bad actually. I feared it was going to force the kind of rev limit up, but it's not really played with a power band that much. It's just made peak power a bit later. Per cylinder, it does make a difference, and there's a bit of an engineering time difference, a bit of a weight difference, I think, but for the better, and material costs. 160.9.6. Yeah, I think single is probably satisfactory, to be honest. Although your opinion may differ, I'm building the car. So that's why the decision is being made in that way. Ooh. That was interesting, actually. So I was able to lower the cam profile slightly, but I didn't take any negative loss from it in terms of power. Not sure what that means. I guess I get better low-end performance. And 202. Oh, yes. That brought it back quite nicely. So if I keep that at 48, I could perhaps change that. No, it doesn't seem to change the power past a certain point. And no. Okay. So 207, 205. I'm just glad the RPM limit is staying at 6,900, because otherwise this exercise would be almost entirely futile, since there's, well, with two objectives. One of them is to get more power, and the other one is to get more economy. The economy objective would be completely pointless if I had to remove the pistons and lose loads of economy. It wouldn't work out. Yeah. New smoothness value. It's never going to be smooth. Not with 4 cylinders distributed across this amount of size. Let's hear it again. There we go. Now, if I remember correctly, the first generation Focus RS actually made a similar amount of power to this. Yeah, so we have a van here with a 4-cylinder engine and no turbos capable of beating that, technically. Well, this engine, I'm pretty sure, would beat it, just due to the sheer fact it's got that sudden response and torque that you can only get from a 3.2 litre naturally aspirated engine. But a Ford is probably going to be a faster car, let's be honest. 146 miles per hour top speed. This will apparently do 134 almost. Not that I would want to be here when it does. That would be a pretty scary experience. 161.5. Amazingly, it hasn't strayed. It's still a heavy delivery. It's still not strayed to become a sport van or anything, or if there's even a category for that. 161.56. I think I'll leave it there. That should be a good enough point. And tighten up the lower gears. But that makes the market happy. It also makes me happy because I'm going to get lesser 0 to 60 times. Yes. This is going to be up there in the high leagues with all of the glamorous cars like second-hand Fords from the early 2000s. Not the Focus RS, I mean the Mondeo ST220, which isn't quite as glamorous. Still kind of sporty and nice, but it's not as glamorous as a Focus RS, because that's kind of an RS car, and the RS is the ones that collectors go crazy for. If I put the words together correctly, that is. So 8.5 seconds to 60. This is, for a van, pretty good. 163. How about sport? No. Oh. Oh dear. Scary. Scary. Hard long life 205s and 200 horsepower. It might not be so bad. I just hope it isn't. Seriously. Oh dear. Off-road skid tray again. Try these. 164.1. 83.1. That'll give me more miles per gallon and possibly quicker acceleration. So I think I'll go for it, even though it's technically just unnecessary wasted money. 33.8 miles per gallon. Yeah. 34 miles per gallon though in a van, and it weighs 1450 kilograms. I've done a pretty good job of this, I think. All I need to do to finish it off is add a bit of grille down at the front, and that will be it. So, grille. This one should do the trick. Whoa, I thought it was going to crash then. There we go. Ooh, I've had an idea. Oh no, there's indicators there, that's okay. There's indicators on the main lights. I was thinking I would need to add them, but they're already added. So, here is our muscle van. Actually, I'm going to just call it that. Muscle van, no. 3.2, I guess. So, we can export this now. It's taken a surprisingly short amount of time to get this done. Please, manual lock. Ooh. Again, it is technically added money for nothing, but they like that. That's very strange. Since it seems to add no benefit, I don't know. It does add utility and off-road benefits. I think it's just that they exactly contradict the cost increase and nothing more. But the cost increase is only small, so again, as I was saying with the under tray, I think it's worthwhile to do such a thing. 86, 85. I wonder how far I can stretch them. 0.8. Oh, yes. Keep it to just before the market starts to go down, I think. So it's a little slower to 60, and it seems to have put weight on. Is that the diff? No, I don't know. It could be any number of things. It's still under 1,500 kilograms. I'm happy with that. Okay, so brakes. How could I forget? I mean, I brushed over them for so long. And now I'm just remembering to do all these things. They're only solid discs as well. They're not anything crazy fancy or anything like that. I don't know. 168. This is gonna need some braking force, I think, on the front. I would say put vented discs on, but this is not going to be sporty in the slightest, so yeah. How is it going to need them? Any more than 3 pistons seems excessive, honestly. So 171. This is... Ah! I could move some brake performance back then, I guess. So I've got... the brake bias to 57% front. 77.1. I wonder. If I go with vented discs, I can fit smaller, lighter brakes. We prefer 3-piston solid discs, that much is clear though. So 275, they're pretty big brakes, must be said. And 176.9. Are you going to work? Ooh. So I think I don't know. If I bring the fronts up 10mm and the rear down 10mm, is it? I think I need to just balance it out, don't I? Balance out the braking balance. It has practically no comfort to it, I know that much. It is an incredibly sporty machine. And it probably holds to a road incredibly well. But it isn't a comfortable machine. And that's strange because it's a utility vehicle. Just look at how high the pointage is now, though. Pad type 77. 77.12. You seem to like having the comfort pads, which is fine. Or comfort biased pads. Add a little bit of cooling airflow. Should make it more reliable, I hope. $58. And 1505 kilograms in my front wheel drive van. 180.1. So, yeah, the gearing is changing on what they want. 0.4. I'm guessing that's just the added weight. They want some slightly tighter gear ratios to go along with that. 8.8 seconds to 60 now. Time is kind of slipping away. And do they want another seat suddenly? These things can happen, you know. While I'm building a vehicle, suddenly people have had a children in the automation calculation world. And yeah, they're just things my company can't plan for. It just happens so quickly. Basic infotainment. Yeah. We could probably do without launch control on a van. It's probably a bit of a far stretch to say we need it. Okay. Are any of these preferable? Oh, they've changed their mind on the suspension again. 80.4, 81.4. Sport, okay. I like where that's going. No, not utility. Utility, oh dear. Utility is as high as it can go. I don't want it to sit that high if I can help it. 182.6. 183. Okay, progressive springs but twin tube dampers. Let's see. I think even though it hurts the market ever so slightly, I think I'll go with sport suspension. I might as well just turn it into a sport van by this point. I mean, I've got 200 horsepower, or near enough 200 horsepower. How much is it? Yeah, 207 horsepower going to a front wheels and a load of torque to go with that. It's got alloy wheels, although maybe they don't look like alloy wheels. And it doesn't weigh a stupid amount. It's basically a hot hatchback. It's basically an overweight hot hatchback from the early 2000s, but in van form. It's the best way I can put it. So I'm going to export this, actually. I think we need a colour, though, because I don't want to just export it in this red colour. So let's paint a new custom paint. Oh yeah, tofu. I think I was playing around with it and I did that. I don't know. Maybe I actually exported something with it on for my series. I can't remember. Oh, right. And okay. I'm not sure how I'm doing this. Probably best to just abandon that. Delete you, tofu. Is there anything I don't mind losing that's not the nicest of colours? There's probably this one. Just call it my paint. It does at least distinguish it from the others. And shine. Could make it a bit less shiny. There we go. It's kind of a gold van now, which is strange, but, you know, I'm happy with it. It works. So, I think it's time to export this to Beam and see how it runs. Actually, another thing, how quick is the top speed? 137. This is what you call a fast van, perhaps. It is just over 1,500 kilograms. Very good. Anyway, see you in Beam. So, here you can probably see, but you can definitely hear my van. Some very bright headlights again, as usually. Taillights aren't so bright. But anyway. Yeah, it just sounds so much like a real van. But we do need to get going. 2, 1, go. That moment when you forget a car is an automatic. Oh dear, okay. So on we go. This is very, very loud through my speakers. Whoa. Okay. Round here we go. This doesn't handle too bad, although I can't see the bonnet, which is a little disconcerting, but, you know, once I kind of get the hang of where I'm going, it's not too bad. I can feel the tight low-end gearing here. It might not actually be helping, it might be hindering me more than it's helping. Oh, although my idea initially was that it would help me get going. This is on pretty dreadful tyres, so that's not going to help us. I mean, the sport suspension was a choice option by me, so yeah, will it do well off-road where there's bumpy terrain? Who knows, but I just had to put it on. Come on, you will be a good front-wheel drive van and not hit anything, yes. Come on, this could be really incredible. Oh, just gently round here. I threw it away. It was better to just acknowledge I'd thrown it away and try and get onto the next lap better than to just try and continue fighting it. Oh. As I say that, I've kind of ditched it in a bush. I mean, what can I say? This is probably the destiny for many of these vehicles. Just getting ditched in a bush. Thankfully, we should be mechanically alright, because that was a very gentle impact. I think actually if I shift up, it'll go in auto, but it'll show me what gear it's in. This might be incredibly helpful. So, third gear now around here, yeah. They are incredibly tight gear ratios, the likes of which I'm not sure I've seen around here before. Third lap, I'm going to try my best to get the most out of this, meaning I have to be perfect on the way into that lap. I have to be perfect at that first corner, as in not hitting anything. And I have to just basically keep going as I have for the rest of the lap, maybe shaving off a bit more speed though. I have got a locking differential, but I'm not using it at the moment because I don't want to. I just use the differentials as being open if I have the opportunity to lock them. That is how it's being in this series. Gonna brake a bit early here even for this corner. The brakes are okay. I mean, they could probably be a little better, but they do the job. They get the job done. They get the van slowed. So I can't really complain about it there. Try and slow it down into here. I felt like I could go wide there, but I didn't. Oh, bouncing off the limiter in quite a painful way, but I don't think that will have lost me much speed because of the nature of where that short straight was. Again, another corner. I'm just doing so much turning. For everything, turn. Could there ever be a more appropriate song? I don't know. First time I'm singing in a video, I think. But I couldn't resist. come on. For every corner, turn, turn. Come on. Right round this corner, flooring it, flooring it, flooring it. Yeah, I mean, given how slow it felt, that's not half bad. It's similar to the sports car. So, just a moment ago, I did state this van was about the same time as a key sports car, although it is in fact over 3 seconds quicker than it. That car felt so quick, that little key sports car, but it wasn't quick. It was actually a lot slower than this. This felt incredibly slow. I mean, I guess that could be attributed to the massive size of it, but it felt so slow, yet it went a lot faster. The front wheel drive could have attributed to that as well, the fact that it didn't have as kind of, how would I say it, aggressive a drivetrain, as challenging, let's say, a drivetrain to drive, so it wasn't keeping the driver on edge at any point. And yeah, that has also put it in an interesting part of the leaderboard, just above the Audis Quattro by 0.03 seconds. Yeah, that is a tiny, tiny amount, but that was essentially kind of a rally car and a road car mushed together, and to get beaten by a van as well. It's also come just below the Farini 854. That thing was a bit uncontrollable, yes, but it had over 500 horsepower. Again, proving the power, I guess, front-wheel drive has on this circuit. Oh! Yeah. I say that. I'm going the wrong way. Speed! Yeah, the gearing. Thing is, this is lovely. I feel it could have gone even quicker had the gearing been nicer than it actually was. Let's jump it. Oh. First major crash I had. The first major crash I had of the entire run. Before that, it was perfect condition. Anyway, we have beaten the inline 6 turbo MPV, which I guess is its major target. I think that was a lot more powerful than this is. And it has come below the Oxyzo Sport as well, the Farini competitor, I guess, or the closest it had to a competitor, even though it's from the 1980s. I mean, that car's quite a beast. Quite a nice car. We'll see also, the Jetta Highline did well. That's long above this, but the fact that that's done well and the van has done well, despite being unspectacular vehicles in themselves, I'm telling you, front-wheel drive is the way to go around this circuit. Maybe I'm just a terrible driver, but even with a terrible driver, a good rear-wheel drive car can take you far. Still, with that being said, I'm going to leave it here for today with a very crumpled front end on my vehicle and say goodbye until another day.